Hello, good afternoon. My name is Jeremy Stern. I'm the CEO of a company called PromoVeritas. We're the global compliance promotional specialists. And I'm delighted to say that we've got one of our major clients, which is Roisin Devine from Kellanova, which is Kellogg's, as you would have known it. And they've been a client of ours for over 10 years, and we work with them around the world on implementing some of their great promotions. And one of the promotions that we're going to talk about today is operating in 39 countries. But the takeout, before I hand over to talk about it, is I want you to think that even in today's modern world, the world of the internet, the world of Instagram, the world of TikTok, standard classic promotional techniques work. I was just over at a stand over there. This morning they had queues out the door for people to win Pringles or a little snack of chocolate. We all remember that whoever we are, marketing or otherwise, we like the word free. And that's what I want you to remember, how to bring free to life. So, Roisin, we've invited you to share your thoughts on a brand new promotion. Can you tell us about Pringles and their plans for Poptopia?
Hi everybody, my name is Roisin Devine and I'm really pleased to be here today. Poptopia is a program that launched about 6 weeks ago, and it is an always-on platform that is Mr. P's virtual world. It's a program that we are really driving within the company to bring together our ambitions to have enhanced consumer experiences.
Okay, and I'd just like to repeat, this is now a near global campaign operating 39 countries. How did you arrive at such a major campaign? Many of you out there will be frustrated because you can't consider such a global platform.
Yeah, so it's definitely, it's been a journey. So digital transformation is a big ambition within the company, and it's taken us a while to get full leadership into supporting us on this journey. So what we were saying is that we wanted to get live because we have trusted partners like PromoVeritas that know that the compliance in 29 markets and all the legal promotional laws will all be adhered to. So that was one big reassuring part, because the big feature within Poptopia is our consumer promotions. Yeah. Got it.
Okay, my second guest is actually Charles Stanton, who is the marketing director of the Faculty Group, which is a crypto and web-based venture capitalist. So, Charles, the Poptopia platform, amongst others that are around here, are based on Web3. Can you tell us a bit about what Web3 is and why it's so important?
Yeah. So Web3, I know you guys have probably had some experience with cryptocurrencies, and there's an association of cryptocurrencies with Web3. The easiest way to look at Web3 is a democratization of the internet. Your users become part of the platform more so than they ever have been able to with Web2. And through wallet connections, their interactions can be recorded on the blockchain, and every interaction they make is on the blockchain, recorded, in theory, forever. So that opens up whole new avenues of engagement for brands that I think we'll get onto in a short while. But yeah, in principle, Web3 is a democratization of the internet. The revolution is coming, and watch this space if you're a big brand.
Okay, well, on the screen, if I ask for the next slide, is actually a QR code. And if you are clever enough to get your phones out, you can actually enter Poptopia and experience it. So this is the democratization of the internet. Also, on the way out, Roisin has very kindly donated packs of Pringles. While stocks last, I should say. So grab it while you can. You may not have a choice of flavor. So democratization of the internet. What does that actually mean in terms of the way that Poptopia works?
Yeah, so Poptopia is step one of our marketing transformation sort of goals within the business, and it's definitely going to be a journey, and getting into understanding how we can unlock the power of data and unlock the power of Web 3. And unlock the power of how this 1P data can build in our media understanding is really what we're trying to get after.
Okay. So one of the challenges for a lot of you is that you'll be working with creative agencies who want to come up with continuing new ideas. What you've done is you've leapfrogged that, and you've got one creative idea, which is an always on.
Yeah.
And how are you going to keep that fresh
Well, that's
and
it.
alive?
Yeah, and that's the challenge. So Pringles is such an ambitious brand. It always has its moment in culture. So we have key retailer moments, so gaming, for example, or football. So what we're going to do is build Poptopia around key retailer cornerstones, and then understand what the data is going to tell us about how people are actually engaging in the platform, and try and build more mini experiences to understand our consumers better.
For those of us like me who at Coca-Cola, I had a European role, one of the things that you need is a strong skin. In fact, you almost need a bulletproof vest, because there's so much battling that I found that you had to do. So did you have to do a lot of fighting to get this? What were your challenges in getting Poptopia together?
So again, working on a project like Poptopia has taken, so many different parts of our business to come together to make this happen. So that's a variety of stakeholders like our legal teams, our IT teams, our brand teams, our local market teams. So we have Rui here who works in our business in the UK. And again, we've had to bring people on a journey that, we had to break down all the language into being very real and very transparent with our hope for this platform, because what it looks like now could look like something different in 3 years. So what the business has really bought into is that test and learn mindset, the collaboration, and again, the real transparency of we will learn as we go.
Okay. Web3 is clearly a highly technical thing, the democratization of the internet. But Charles, what impact do you think it's going to have on the world of marketing, and maybe specifically on the world of promotions?
Yeah, so this is where it gets really interesting, because whereas before, obviously, there's been ways to track loyalty in consumers, what Web3 allows is something quite unique, which is the ability to use things like digital assets and obviously on-chain interactions to know, really truly know, if someone has been a loyal customer, if someone has engaged in a certain way, if someone has participated in a promotion, if someone has done a certain number of, for example, tasks or challenges, and that could then lead to much more, I suppose, rich ways of rewarding loyalty. So you could literally be in a situation where somebody connects their wallet, and you will know immediately what interactions they have had with your brand over any amount of time. Okay? And that technology is available now. And you can track these people in their wallet usage, obviously completely anonymous, so the data is anonymous. On-chain interactions are completely anonymous, but you will know that they are, for example, a Poptopia player, and they've reached a certain level, and they've earned a certain number of digital assets, and you can start to bring those interactions to life. For example, if you were to earn a certain digital asset from completing a level of Poptopia, you could perhaps be given certain access to another experience, or maybe you have there's a promotion, a live event of some kind that you need that digital asset to be able to enter. Like the levels of kind of future-facing loyalty programs, I think that's where it starts to get really, really exciting, and that's where I'm certainly excited as a marketer, because it's an anonymous way of measuring someone's loyalty to a brand, and it's done in a way that the consumer is happy, because you don't know necessarily that much about me other than I've played your game and I've consumed your product, and the ways you can start to bring that to life, I think
it's a way of adding massive amounts of data. Hands up who's struggling with the concept of a cookieless world. Yeah? Oh, and not that many of you. Right. Well, there are changes to cookie laws. Many of the cookies that we're used to and familiar with will be disappearing. Do you think Web3 will allow us to have some of that more data, that granular information on consumers that many of you will end up struggling with?
That's exactly it, yeah. So obviously in a cookieless world, how do you know that a consumer has done a certain thing or whatever it might be? Using wallet interactions, and again, this could be done in real time. You connect your wallet, and your site could be dynamically, transformed based on that person's wallet holdings, what they've been interacting with online, and again, without cookies at all. This is all based on on-chain data. What assets they own, whether they're affiliated with certain, for example, NFT projects or certain other brands. You can be very, very specific around the content that's served to them. So that's, again, a very exciting aspect of Web3 that perhaps hasn't been explored by a lot of brands.
So we've spoken about Poptopia. Charles, are there any other examples? of Web3 type promotional campaigns out there?
Yeah, so I mean, a recent one, obviously, a lot of brands have had somewhat kind of varied experiences in the metaverse. McDonald's, for example, have just launched their own metaverse experience. Basically, a similar kind of concept to Poptopia, but set in a virtual world in Singapore. And they're looking at how they can kind of bring to life loyalty in new ways by offering real-life products based on metaverse interactions and gamification in a metaverse environment. And I think that concept's super cool. So that combination of gamification and Web3 kind of, again, brings a really rich kind of variance to this notion of loyalty in brands. And you can create really meaningful experiences that bring your brand values to life. So, for example, Coca-Cola, they talk about joy. I don't feel joy when I have a Coca-Cola. I just feel sugar. But maybe I can be given the feeling of joy if I'm interacting in a certain way in a certain metaverse environment with Coca-Cola, and that will then bring out, I think, new aspects to brand persona, as it were.
Okay, Roisin, 3 years is a long time in the world of marketeers. Many of us will have changed jobs, maybe definitely once, sometimes even more. What's your 3-year vision for Poptopia? Is it going to be there still?
Oh, it definitely will be there, but how it looks, I don't know, and what we will be doing on it, I don't know. But what we want to ensure is that it's consumers who are telling us what it's going to look like, and that we're making data-driven decisions to make sure that how we shape our promotions and how we shape our campaigns are fueling the ambition.
Okay, well, thank you to Charles, thank you to Roisin. The key takeaways that I would like you to consider are, even in this modern world of those Instagrams and TikTok where we all have to be cool and trendy, do not forget that promotional prize mechanics can deliver. Some of our campaigns can deliver 100,000. We ran a campaign for Amazon. We had 24 million entries. Admittedly, there were 500,000 winners. So results can be good. And then you use Web3 to add value to that, and you've got a massive database. That's point number one. Secondly, consumers of all types and all nature, marketeers, you included, like free, they like win. But they must be run fairly, properly, expertly. And the third and final thing is think big. Many of you will have a single country focus, but try to consider that with your other country colleagues. Work with your partners overseas. You can get bigger scale and share, because consumers all over the world still share certain common characteristics. And like Poptopia in 39 countries, the savings can be enormous. So thank you to Charles, thank you to Roisin, thank you.
Thank you.